Reinventing antagonists is a common trend in cinema. Whether it be zombies, werewolves, or maybe vampires, adapting these classic monsters has only made them more versatile. One of the most recent additions is the relatively new subgenre of killer clowns. First referenced in the early work of Edgar Allan Poe, for almost 200 years there's been an underlying cultural fear surrounding the circus clown. Taken from the recognized fear coulrophobia, the concept of a murderous circus performer has become cemented in modern culture and resulted in many high-profile pictures, which today we'll be looking at the very best. So join me as I count down the top 10 killer clowns. For this list, I'll be exploring and ranking the greatest killer clowns in cinema. This is not a list based on kill count, but purely on the execution of the characters. So let's begin. Number 10. Starting this list comes the hidden gem feature, Stitches. Similar in plot to James O'Barr's The Crow, the story tells of an incompetent clown for hire who is accidentally murdered by a party of children. Resurrected 6 years later to seek revenge on those responsible for his death, he takes down victims with twisted clown-themed kills. Performed by surrealist British comedian Ross Noble, the movie never shies away from any of the gore and features many ridiculous yet creative deaths. Although only managing to find a small fan base, Stitches remains a criminally overlooked horror feature and is also one of the zaniest and gruesome black comedies of the genre. Number 9. Beginning life as a fake viral trailer, after catching the attention of acclaimed horror director Eli Roth, Clown was developed into a full feature. The movie follows the transformation of Kent, a family man who becomes trapped inside a costume that slowly molds his mind and body to that of a child-eating monster. Taking the role of producer, Roth allowed original director John Watts to take lead in the project. Inspired by David Cronenberg's The Fly to create a sympathetic monster until the beast within takes over, he would also include the darkest of humor. Never shying away from graphic scenes and showcasing some impressive practical effects, Clown became a sleeper hit and has since developed its very own cult following. Number 8. Despite pandering to a younger audience, the 1997 movie Spawn would feature the first cinematic outing of one of the comic book's greatest villains. Known simply as Clown, a hellborn demon and creator of the Hellspawn army. Created by Todd McFarlane and performed to key perfection by John Leguizamo, included the eccentricity and intimidation. Clown is merely a chosen form of the Violator, a towering demonic monster with the ability to tear Hellspawn in pieces. Although somewhat neutered in the movie to allow ticket sales to a greater demographic, the presentation of Clown and the performance given by Leguizamo elevated Spawn into one of the most appreciated guilty pleasure movies of the 1990s. Number 7. Released in 2015 comes the under-the-radar picture The Funhouse Massacre, which tells the story of 6 escaped psychopaths who rampage a haunted house attraction, their youngest member being Dollface. The daughter of a murderous cult leader with a delightfully twisted approach to killing, Dollface is a sadly obscure character, but possibly deserving of her own feature. Using dark seductive charm to lure her victims, her agility and resourcefulness make for an efficiently lethal killer. And despite being an overall mediocre movie, the dark humor, gratuitous gore, and of course Dollface make the Funhouse Massacre a worthwhile picture. Number 6. Possibly the genesis of the killer clown niche in media, genuine serial killer John Wayne Gacy would pose as Patches the Clown to lure his unsuspecting victims. Retold in several features, the best being the made-for-TV movie To Catch a Killer. Performed by Brian Dennehy as Gacy, with the exception of the active years, the feature would be the most accurate retelling of the actual account. Also stalking under the guise of Pogo the Clown, and responsible for a minimum of 33 murders, the bodies of which were discovered within his own home, Gacy would become recognized as one of the most prolific and predatory serial killers in American history. Number 5. possibly the most brutal killer on the list. Art the Clown from 2016's Terrifier is also one of the most demanded antagonists in alternate cinema. Beginning life as a 20-minute short that was revisited in the anthology movie All Hallows Eve would eventually be fully fleshed out into its own feature. What makes the clown so intimidating is the lack of any explanation or motive for his killing. Showcasing several gratuitously violent kills, the movie is considered by many to fall into the category of extreme cinema. Only growing more popular over time and slowly building into a cult following, Art the Clown has all the makings to become one of the big horror icons of the 21st century. Number 4. Of the plethora to choose from within Killer Klowns from Outer Space, using the rule of only one per franchise, the title goes to Shorty, the diminutive member of the titular Killer Klowns. Unlike the other members who capture victims in order to feed, Shorty's agenda is much more deadly. Often seen riding a tricycle and armed with acidic cream pies and a deadly ray gun, he also possesses super strength, resulting in one of the movie's most memorable moments and earning the largest kill count in the picture. Oddly adorable and ruthlessly deadly, Shorty is arguably the most iconic of all the Killer Clown clan and has become a recent hit attraction at the Universal Halloween Horror Nights, cementing his place in pop culture history. Number 3. First appearing in Rob Zombie's House of a Thousand Corpses, Captain Spaulding made an immediate impact on the alternate community. Starting as an eccentric roadside attraction host and named after the Marx Brothers character Captain Jeffrey T. Spaulding, the movie presents the clown as a lesser evil, but also intimidating and lethal. Despite being portrayed as a villainous character, returning for the sequel The Devil's Rejects would make Spaulding a somewhat anti-hero. Played by the late great Sid Haig, he returned to the character one final time in 2019's Three from Hell, which would sadly be his final screen performance, but left behind an outstanding legacy in horror and is one of the all-time greatest killer clowns in cinema. Number 2. Created by the master of horror Stephen King and becoming one of the most recognizable faces in alternate cinema, Pennywise has also become one of the highest-profile antagonists in media. Originally performed by the legendary Tim Curry in the made-for-TV movie, and later respectfully portrayed by Bill Skarsgård in the 2017 revision, it is an otherworldly being with a taste for children and the ability to shapeshift, its favorite form being that of a clown, chosen as the most appealing effigy to lure its prey, his drive being that fear makes his prey irresistibly tasty. Whether your love is with Tim Curry or the Muschietti adaptation, there's no denying that Pennywise is one of the biggest pop culture icons in modern horror. If you enjoy Demented Top 10s, show your appreciation by hitting the thumbs up button, and be sure to subscribe to keep up with the channel. Also, have your say in future Top 10s and follow Demented Pictures on Facebook, or consider supporting the show on Patreon. Links in the description box below. Number 1. Forget defining what constitutes to being a clown. There's no denying the Clown Prince of Gotham, the Joker, is the supreme killer clown. Created in 1940 by famed comic book creator Bob Kane to be the ideal nemesis of the Caped Crusader, the enigmatic villain that lives for pure chaos has deservedly become one of the most iconic villains in media history. Serving as the face of pure anarchy, with a history shrouded in ambiguity and an equally mysterious and deadly agenda, the Joker's unpredictable nature has made him a most intriguing and oddly supportable character. Even with his multiple reimaginings since his original creation, whether it be Cesar Romero, Jack Nicholson, Mark Hamill, Heath Ledger, Joaquin Phoenix, or even Jared Leto, the Joker is one of the most respected villains in all of media and is truly deserving of being crowned the king of killer clowns. So there was my list. Were there any I missed? Which killer clowns do you love the most? Leave a comment below and be sure to check out some other top 10s on screen now. And remember, no list is definitive but the one you make yourself. This is Mike from Demented Pictures saying, may your movies be bloody and your scares be shitless.